Okay, Maxim, let's start from the beginning. What is your first contact with the Tolkien universe?
I think it was the movies, the Peter Jackson adaptations. That's when I watched them for the first time, and it just my imagination just sort of skyrocketed, and I fell in love with it.
There is any specific movie or that you love?
Well, I think it's The Fellowship. Yeah, it's the fact that it's a story of the underdog.
Yeah.
I think as a young boy, I think I liked that, and it was about overcoming obstacles, problems, and that there's always this sort of hopeful undertone in Tolkien that sort of keeps me coming back to it.
Yeah, and I have to ask you, and you have a favorite character? Maybe Isildur?
I love Isildur. He's very complex, and I think I also, because of his complexity, Boromir is also someone that
my favorite also.
Yeah, he's a fallible human being who makes mistakes. And I find him fascinating.
Yeah, an amazing arc he has.
Yeah, tragic arc.
Tragic, but...
And I think in a similar way, I think Isildur is also a tragic character in the sort of Tolkien universe. He is, I don't want to say misunderstood, because I think we'll try and make him a character that we understand his motivations.
Yeah.
Of his, and we were able to do that because we could tell the story of his beginnings.
That's in fact what I wanted to ask you, and what I was wondering from the beginning of the series. I mean, when you build a character, do you have in mind, I mean, because Isildur is like one of the most important characters in the series, because you know what is going to happen in the end if it happens. So when you build the characters, do you have in mind that moment when he say no and he don't throw the ring to the lava, or you want to go step by step?
Well, I know the importance of the character, and I know the weight that he carries. But we actually don't know that much about Isildur in terms of the way that he lives, his relationships, what shapes him. We know these signposts about what he does, but how does he get there? So we reverse engineer the process.
Yeah.
Patrick and JD have to build the character from the ground up. They're very collaborative with me. They listen. And I think that for an actor is a real gift and blessing, because I'm able to really impart my own feelings into this character. But where does he start? He's got a relationship with his father that's fractured. He's grieving the death of his mother. He feels responsible for the death of his mother, as we find out in season 2. And in season 2, he has to learn all these new skills. He has to survive. He has to learn how to defeat obstacles, and he actually grows so much in the second season that I think for fans you'll start to get a glimpse of the Isildur that you might expect. He is more of a warrior. He's hardened, mercenary in his thinking, and that's been very rewarding and fun to play. Yeah, because
he's like, also in the first season you see like an underdog, like he's very protected by his father. His life is like very strict, but in the second he's by his own.
I would say it's strict. It's sort of contained, but I think he's rebellious in nature.
Of course.
And rebelliousness is something that I've been toying with a lot, which is, I don't think rebelliousness is devoid of love and feeling, and I think he is actually a deeply loving person. I think he's good at heart.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that will always remain with him. It's maybe his ambition and drive and lack of remorse, which perhaps could be the sort of there's something that happens in season 2, which I don't know how many. Have you seen any episodes?
I've seen 3.
The first 3. So in the third episode, he is shoeless, and he falls into a pond.
Yes.
And sees that there's a dead Númenórean soldier there, and he takes his shoes because he needs them. And I think that is, in a nutshell, quite expositional of who he is. He's not afraid, doesn't feel bad about doing that. He's able to put on dead man's shoes.
That's a very good point.
And it's terrifying if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, who would do that? Yeah. But yet he does that because out of necessity, out of need, and he needs to survive. So his ambition and drive is at the forefront of a lot of things. So take that as you will. Is that bad? Is that inherently? I mean, it's just it's particular.
Yeah, it's not white, it's not black, it's a grey character.
And that is the morally grey, ambiguous characters of Tolkien is what I find so fascinating, and what I think keeps people and fans coming back to this work, because it is, you can find new things. There's so many layers to characters, and we're human. We're a fantasy show, but we're still exploring human, fallible characters.
It's true. Another thing that I love about this series, well, I think the thing that I love the most is the sets, the movie sets. Numenor, when the Mount Doom explodes and covered with ashes, all this town. I mean, I've seen the behind the scenes. I love to watch them, and it's crazy. It's absolute. I've never seen this in any production. So how is for an actor to be inside these movie sets?
It's a dream come true.
Right.
It really is, and I've never done a show of this scale before. I've never done a second season of a show. I've only done limited series and films, so being able to come back and really develop the character further and step onto these elaborate, intricate sets that, the thousands of people that work behind the camera and the crew to bring this show to life. It really is like, I think it kind of inspires me to keep going and do my best work. When the explosion happened, that was really tough to film, because there were these little potato chips flying around here, and it was like tough on because you inhale it, you breathe it in. It's obviously the ash, but I remember that being a really difficult day on set. It was beautiful, gorgeous, like smoking. Everything was smoking on fire, red, and the lighting was just like exquisite, and you really did feel like you were there. Yeah. There wasn't much CGI when it came to shooting bits like that, which is one of the fascinating things about the show. They build everything, and then there's a sprinkling of CGI, like with the spider sequence in the third episode. Yeah. With Shelob, that was the only CGI element. Otherwise, they built this claustrophobic, dark, damp
disgusting.
Cave. It was disgusting. Yeah. I mean, but that was puppeteers as well.
Really?
So I was I walked onto set and I was looking at the monitors and I was going, oh my God, you've done CGI so quickly. And they were like, no, there's a puppeteer who was basically breaking an egg, and then the little spiderling fingers were just coming out and they were dropping everywhere.
And very arachnophobic, that was the worst.
I'm so arachnophobic as well. I can hardly watch that sequence. If you're terrified of spiders, don't watch.
Right. No, and you're inside that's worse.
And strapped.
Yes. As well. And another thing that I love about the behind the scenes is the choreographies. I mean, in the first season we didn't see so much about Isildur choreographies because he's in Numenor. But now I think we will see more about. I mean, what we can expect of the choreographies of the stunts in the second season, and how you felt about it.
I love doing a lot of the physical work. I think it's important for the show. I think it's important for the character to always be in like fighting for his life. I think it just fits the character. And I had to learn loads of new skills. I think for me, as an actor, you always rely on your spontaneity, your impulsiveness in the moment. With stunt work, you have to learn choreography. It's very precise. And so it's like a dance move, and you have to then try and sell it. So you're almost playing to the gallery, because you have to sell these big movements. So when you get hit against the wall, it's not just that, it's that, and then you have to really sell it. So those are the things that I sort of learnt on the job, which I didn't really know beforehand. And it's very different from just doing a normal scene. So I think you can expect a lot more action, and as an actor I've just grown so much, I think, professionally and also personally through this experience, that it's very rewarding.
Yeah, and we will see that in the second season. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.